Hey guys. Okay, so I'm just going to show you today how you can take a simple little terracotta pot and embellish it and make it really, really cute. So the first thing you're going to do is just give it a coat of paint. I am using DIY paint here in beadboard. And it only took one coat. So now I am going to use IOD molds, just Iron Orchid Designs. And I use their molds with this air dry clay right here. And you just take the clay, roll it, put it into the mold, press down, and then remove the excess with your thumbs as such. You can use a credit card here, anything, just you want the back to be flat. So you're just gonna pop it out, bend the mold a little bit and pop it out. Look at all that detail. So I'm using Titebond Quick and Thick glue. I like to use my fingers and just rub it all the way to the edge of your clay mold. And then stick it around. This is the Trimmings 2 mold from IOD, and this particular one, it just fit the rim of this pot really nicely. So as you can see, it did not go all the way around, so you just make another one. I didn't make the whole thing because I knew I wouldn't need it. You do the same thing, and then you're just going to pop it out and glue it on as well. Kind of push it up as close to the end as you can, and then I like to use just a razor blade and just cut it right where it needs to go. And then fit it right in. Press down the edges, but press it really softly, but you do want to make sure you press the edges down. So now I'm using the fleur-de-lis mold, which has that cute little bunny. And so again, I'm putting the cornstarch in there and then the clay, pressing it down and rubbing the excess off with my thumb. This mold has a lot of little things on it. It has this rabbit, it has different size hearts, it has a fleur-de-lis, of course, different sizes, leaves and acorns. It just has several on this mold. So again, I just glue that down, and now I'm doing the heart. Just repeating the same process, popping it out. I'm going to glue it on the same way as I did the rabbit. There are so many things that you can use these molds on. Even the little succulents that I buy come in this little cute wooden container that you could also embellish with molds. Now you just need to let the molds dry. You can let them air dry, but I usually find that if I just use my heat gun, I can speed up the process just a little bit, and then it'll be ready to paint. So I'm giving everything another coat of paint using the same white. This is DIY paint and beadboard, and it dries really fast. I love to use this paint for projects like this, especially when I'm using my heat gun. I can just get it really dry super fast. So I did use the heat gun on this, so it is dry now, and I'm taking another color of paint. This is called Prairie Gray. It's also DIY paint, and so now I'm going to do a wash, which is just watering down your paint. and then wiping back the excess paint. And so all that's going to do is just get all in those little details so you can see it a lot better. So I was just using a mister bottle to water down my paint. That was water that was in that bottle, and so I just spray it on and get it kind of watery. This paint is highly pigmented, so it's not going to change. You really only need a little bit of paint. I actually probably got too much. And I'm using a little chip brush just to wipe it on. The bristles on a chip brush are really soft on the end, so I like to do my washes with that, or dry brushing. So again, see, I just brush it on, and then I was going to use a baby wipe, but I didn't like how it was actually making my fingers feel because I had glue all over them. But I'm taking a wet paper towel and just blotting the paint off. There, I'm taking a little artist brush because the paint will get, stuck down in on the edges of the mold. And I just use a little artist brush and kind of move that around a little bit. And then I just wipe off. You can wipe off as much as you want. And if you wipe off too much, you can add more and then re-wipe. But I love this technique. It's easy. You don't need anything but paint. Now, of course, you can seal this when it's done. And even if you want to put some of these outside, they have a clay sealer. I know Michael's has one. Any kind of outdoor sealer will work fine. And you'll want to seal the inside of the pot as well if you're going to put a real plant in there. I'm just going to use actually a little faux succulent that I found at the Dollar Tree. You see it laying right there, but I think they're really cute. See how that just makes all the little details pop? So I'm taking this moss. I just found this at the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to stick this down in my pot. Just arrange it however you want it. And then I'm going to take the succulent and kind of press it down in there because I'm going to use my hot glue to get it to stick. But first I just want to kind of make the little hole for it. I'll probably just use a clear wax by DIY Paint as well to seal this because I will just be using it indoors. But I'm just putting the hot glue on the end of my little stem there, and I'm going to just stick it in there and hold it and let it glue to the moss. And that's all there is to it. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. And you can find these molds on my website at weatheredwings.com.